All right, guys, we're live. Good morning, all. Hope everyone is enjoying the state of the markets currently. I do really hope everyone is enjoying the current state of the markets. Yeah, so briefly, GMGM, everyone. For those just joining, please feel free to invite anyone you want to join us and feel free to drop your questions. It's very important to drop your questions as early as possible so we can attend to those questions and we can finish up before it's past 20 minutes. The designated time for this whole live stream is 20 minutes actually. But yeah, we can do more than 20 minutes. So GMGM, welcome everyone. GMGM, feel free, share the link, invite whoever you want to invite, like, follow, subscribe, depending on where you're watching from. If it's YouTube or from Twitter, you can feel free to drop your questions and also like, share, and follow. Yeah, so we'll be looking at what's happening in the markets. We'll also be looking at the trades we took yesterday and some of the trades we've been holding since on Monday. We're in a Bitcoin long position on Monday. We've been in that trade and it hit TP yesterday. So we're going to look at that trade and we're going to do an analysis on BTC price action. Yesterday we spoke about it in depth, and we're also going to look at the chart. We also took some of the trades too yesterday, which we shared live here. The analysis was done real time. The trade analysis was done like real time, and we waited till it got to that position, the entry point, the trade triggered, and it hit our TP. We took Litecoin trade also yesterday. So we're going to look at all of that. Well, let's just get started. First, let's look at what's happening in the market before we jump to the charts. So I'm sharing my screen right away. GM to those just joining, GM, feel free, share the link, invite anyone you want to, drop your questions early enough, please. So looking at what's happening in the markets, you can see today, we're seeing more green, and we're seeing some meme coins. Yesterday it was just Fatcoin, which I did see I was in a position for Fatcoin. Today we're seeing Brit. Today we're seeing Zora. Now, if you guys remember, there's a token that I say tends to pump whenever Zora starts pumping, basis for everyone. Last I checked 2 days ago, basis for everyone was at 1.4 M FTV, and I took like a little entry there because that broken below support. So I took a very little entry. So you might want to go and track basis for everyone, because once Zora starts pumping, it tends to follow Zora closely. Zora leads the pump, then gradually basis for everyone picks up momentum. Yeah, so we can see SFP, Safe Power Wallet, the token is pumping. We're just seeing random pumps from some altcoins, like very, very random. The best here are the meme coins, Fatcoin and Brit. So usually when when the market bounces and starts pumping, there are some meme coins that tend to like lead the pump. So I'll share like 2 or 3 of some of those meme coins that I'm positioned in. I'll just share briefly, so you might want to take a position too. So I'll be fast because of time, so that we can also look at the charts. Yeah, so let's move to see what's happening. Let's zoom out briefly on the weekly and see. Okay, fantastic. So you can see on the weekly we are having more altcoins that are showing profits. Camino, BAT, Spendo, Fatcoin, Chims, meme coin. Which other meme coin can I see here? Okay, those are the major meme coins I can see that are showing profit this week. And on the monthly, I'm sure most coins are still in red. Yeah, obviously. Most of these coins are still in red. Yeah, so there's still opportunities in the market. It's quite interesting seeing that we're seeing a good bounce from yesterday evening till this morning. So let's just switch to let's switch to CoinGecko to see like top performing projects in terms of top 100. Let me just share my screen on CoinGecko. Let's look at that. Then from there, I'll share some of the projects that I'm actually kind of like bullish on. I'll share them from here. Just a minute. I don't have CoinGecko already open. So before we get to CoinGecko, let's just look at Zora while I load up the CoinGecko at my screen. Just a few minutes, let me load up CoinGecko. think I closed that tab. All right, so while CoinGecko loads up, let's briefly look at Zora. We looked at this Zora yesterday, guys, mind you. So hope everyone can see my screen. Hope it's here. Okay, it's here. GM to those joining, please feel free to drop your questions and share the link and invite anyone you want to, basically. Yeah, so looking at this Zora while waiting for CoinGecko to load up. We looked at this chart yesterday, and if you guys notice, I said something. I'm actually positioned in this Zora. I've said it severally. I swing trade it a lot. So we looked at this yesterday, and I did say it yesterday. I think it was around 2.5. That's $2.5 million FDV. This was still at this candle yesterday while we were looking at it. Yeah, I did tell you guys that it's always good to like get in around this zone, and the target is usually 3M and above. Now, but I'm expecting Zora to do really well. Let me open a recent tweet that I dropped and share that for everyone to see why I said so. Because this morning, I was checking some of the coins I was holding, and I said, okay, let me just briefly check Zora to see their updates. I think I shared this with you guys last week or week before last. Some of the things you should look at before choosing to add more positions, or if you want to swing out or something. So if you look at their Twitter, I hope everyone can see my screen. Hope I've shared it. All right, I just shared it now. If you look at their Twitter page on Zora, yeah. So if you look at their Twitter page, all right, it's visible to everyone. You'll notice something. They shared something 4 hours ago. They're still very active. They are gearing up for a launch. You get better access. Now they dropped requirements, which means for you to have access to their SDK and some of the updates they've pushed and some of the stuff. Now, mind you, this is not publicity or paid ad or whatever. It's just some things I look at before jumping in and choosing to swing out or hold a bit more long term. So you can see you need 50K Zora tokens to be able to have access to like try out some of the stuff they've done. And they dropped this information 4 hours ago, that's this morning. So the guys, they are consistently building, they are pushing out stuff, they are updating almost every day, 25th November, 24th, 23rd. You get they're active, and people are kind of like engaging. You have views, people engaging and all of those things. So these are like some stuffs you want to see. And it was at support yesterday. So that presents everything, just aligns, and it gives you like a good entry, either to swing the particular token or to hodl long term. So you want to pay attention to most of all of those stuffs before the project start picking up. So if we are to go back to the charts, let's just look at the chart one last time, Zora chart, just one last time before we switch to CoinGecko, then before we look at general charts and maybe some news. If we were to go back to like the Zora charts, I'll just share it now. All right, good. So if we were to go back to this chart and we zoom out to the daily, good. Now there's something you can see here. While BTC was dumping, because that's what was making it come down to this point, there were like huge rejections on the daily, like very, very huge rejections on the daily. This whole period BTC was dumping. Mind you, BTC has been bearish the whole of November. So as at the first week of November, or the first day of November, you can see Zora was around 8 million or thereabout. And since then, BTC has been dumping, which actually forced it all the way down to about 2 point something, which was a support. It held it between 1.89 and about 2M. It held that support and it's still been holding it. So if it's to break out of, it should break out of this whole area we've had like resistance, where there were like rejections and sell-off. Where do you think this token would most likely get to? If on the daily, because it's a daily candle, breaks out of this whole zone, where do you think it's likely get to? Obviously, to get to 5M, because that's the next area you have, like on the daily candle open and close. That's the next place to get to 5M, and invariably to get to like 8M. Now, should it go above this, that's now price discovery. So there's a huge chance that if BTC behaves, the momentum stays good and strong, it will most likely go above this zone. But yes, for those swinging, they can swing out with their 30% profit or 20 something or even 40% profits. They can actually do that for the swing traders. But for the long-term position holds, you'll be looking at 5M, probably 8M, and most likely price discovery. It just takes some new buys to come in that would cause that break above this level and it gets to price discovery then before people start to FOMO. So I don't want to spend so much time on that. That's about Zora. Let's switch to CoinGecko. GMGM, to those just joining, please ask questions, invite anyone you want to invite, subscribe, share. All right, hope you can see my screen. Good, so we're now on CoinGecko. So I'll be moving straight to BTC is now at 91,500. We'll talk about that once we look at the BTC chart soon. Now look at rain, which we're looking at on Monday that was pumping. I told you guys that I don't like to FOMO. There's no point trying to FOMO. If you've missed it, you've missed it. And I told you guys I don't see any need to I should go and buy this token, the rain. Yes, a fantastic project, but price-wise, it's not a good price to go jump in unless you just want to FOMO, and you might end up hurting yourself. Now, Okra performed really well. Am I holding Okra? No, but I'd said it about 2 weeks ago. One of the tokens good for swinging that tends to do some good performance when we see stuff like this. Okra is one of them, but currently I'm not trading it. I'm actually not holding it. Which other one again? I'll soon switch to okay, XPX. We have virtual. Now, virtual pumping is actually good. It means that we'll soon start seeing a virtual ecosystem tokens pump, which we might look at a few today. We might look at a few today that tend to pump. Maybe I'll share one or two. Bounce Bets, profit on Bounce Bets. I shared it. That it's a project that I also said it yesterday. It was down yesterday. It's a project I'm actually bullish on. So I'm actually trading it. So I'm actually in profit on Bounce Bet. So looking at top 1,000 project, there's a particular meme I want to share here that I'm positioned on. Yeah, this is it. This is it. The Binance Cult. The Binance Cult. So I'm actually positioned on Binance Cult. So you might want to take a position. So I'm actually positioned on it because when it pumps, it tends to pump really hard. And if you look at CZ, his name on Twitter, it has this stuff. So the token, funny enough, this is a ticker. This sign is just a ticker, but it's like Binance Cult. So you might want to take an entry. That we had swing trade this in our community. I think last month, October, did well. Then before it broke below support, I went below 100K. So I just got in more positions there, anticipating for when the markets would flip back to be bullish. So you want to keep an eye on this. Actually, you really want to keep an eye on this. Next, there are a few orders, but I've not really organized them properly, and I don't want to spend so much time here. I want to switch to the chart so we can do some analysis on the chart and see what to expect from the market. Also review some of the trades we took. So I'm sharing my chart. Spesna is here. Welcome, Spesna. I hope you can hear me. GMGM everyone. So I'll be sharing my screen. Let's look at the chart. Yes, Spesna, while at that, can you you can piggy in on what you think about what's going on in the market?
GMGM guys.
So what are your expectations? Yeah.
The market seems to be performing okay. The last time I was here, we talked about today is Thursday. I think last time I was here was Tuesday. We talked about a few of these old tokens like Dimension, Story, etc. that has been that has dumped, right? Because we looked at Monad, but then after our conversation that day, Monad moved up a bit, because we talked about, Monad did not really pump, so maybe because Monad FDV was around 4 billion thereabout. So Monad moved up a little bit, it pumped a little bit. I also saw Story, that's IP. Story pumped, because I know we mentioned Story on our live here that most of those tokens has actually dumped and nothing really is happening with those tokens. But we saw Story also moved. Currently, some of the tokens that we are swinging, like what's it called, Sura. We've seen Sura, make that up and down movement like 2 to 3 times this week, which is actually a good thing if you're swinging, because it gives you like 13-20%, almost like every day or every 2 days, right? Which is good. We also seen the likes of Tura. We've not really talked about Tura here. All of them are still in the category of what's it called, prediction markets. We saw Tura pumps, but Tura, yes, it dumps very well because of the whole exploit thing, but it pumped, which gave people a good return. So yeah, the market is looking good. If the Bitcoin dominance keeps dropping or drops further, we could probably get that alt season that we are looking at. Before you actually let me in, to just quickly look at the tokens that I have in my deck screen. I wanted to look at some of them and see what was happening with those particular tokens. So you can go on with analysis while I just quickly pick at those tokens and see if we have any movements that it's worth sharing.
All right, no problem. So I did say I would highlight one or two of the projects I'm expecting to run since virtual token has started moving in the virtual ecosystem. So one of it is Aura by Virtual. Aura by Virtual, you can see the chart briefly on CoinGecko. See how it dumped. It was almost at 10M. And it took off from, it's back to where it took off from. It took off from around this zone in the month of October. You can see the huge pump. And you can see it is back to that zone. So what was the catalyst behind this was based on that X402 protocol. Aura is one of the projects on the virtual ecosystem that's like pioneering that. That was what made me buy itself around 700, 800K FTV around September, I think. I held it for over 2 weeks. It was just playing 700 1M before it finally broke out. Yeah, so it's back to that 1.2M, which is a fantastic entry. That whole hype of the X402 protocol is still on. It's still there. So there's a chance, since virtual is moving, soon you start seeing virtual ecosystem tokens running. So you would want to get them Aura by Virtual, which I'm actually positioned. Eval is also good. I got in on Eval at 800K. I was telling you guys, I spoke about Eval here 2 days ago. I think on Tuesday, I told you guys that where I was looking to get in from, I was looking at, I think last time we spoke about 900K. So I was expecting it to drop. If I can see 600, I can get in. But I did like my first DCA when I saw it dump to 800K. And I was waiting if I should see maybe 650 or something, I can buy again. I can do the second DCA, then maybe if I do a third one. Or after the first DCA, it started moving. It's at 1M, so I'm like approximately almost 30% up. Yeah, so that's why I say most times you need to lay that in your entries. If you want to buy like $2,000, you can split it into 3. Pick the range you want to jump in. It's most times very difficult to get the exact point. So you can DCA, like this virtual now for me, from 800 to like 550, I would have done all my buys. 800, if I saw it at maybe 680 or so, I would have bought again. If If I saw it down to 550 or 500, or it starts going up to 700, probably I would have done the last buy. So it's very important to do that. Yeah, so I highlighted these two because of the virtual ecosystem, the token, the native token virtual has started moving, and it's only natural for it to see the ecosystem start taking off. Now, remember last month, this eval got to 3M. Now it dumped to 800K. So there's every chance that it can get like 1.5M or 1.6, or even probably 2M. Yeah, so you might want to look at this project. Basically, these two that I've mentioned. There are still others in the virtual ecosystem, but let's just keep it simple and stick to these two for now. So I would switch to chart analysis. Let's look at the charts. The way time runs is surprising. It's already 20 minutes. Let's look at chart and the trades we took yesterday, how they performed. So we'll start with BTC. BTC has 91,600. Hope everyone can see my screen. 91,600. That's where BTC is at currently. Let me just make this bigger and take out these indicators. Okay, good. So we took this trade on Monday. It was done. The analysis was done live. We took this last week. This one here, we took it last week, and we are out of this position, protected some profits, and we went out. For those people that didn't hit SL, it started coming back here. And when we took this position here, I stated it clearly that these people that are still on this trade that did not protect profit or adjust SL to protect profit, but they are still in it, they should endeavor to do that now, because BTC is facing a support right here. And looking at the lower time frame, it's forming an uptrend. So with this support, we would attempt to do what? Break this resistance here. And should we aim for this again, we would most likely break it and take this trade out. So I stated it clearly on Monday when we entered this position. You can watch those videos, the live stream, that people should endeavor to do that. And I also said it because when we took this trade, when we did the analysis, it hadn't triggered yet. I said it, what would show you signs that it has triggered for it to take you? You see rejection candles around the support, which we started seeing that, and we got in. I think on Tuesday, I did say that I exited protecting some profits, 100% profits, and I got back in, and it came back to that position. And yesterday, I said it that there was no need me protecting profit again, because there was just no point in me protecting profit again. I said it yesterday, I didn't bother to protect even after getting back and it went up. There was really no need, because overall, I was already in profit from the first position I exited and got back in. So I just left it so it plays out properly, since it was still rejected at this zone. So yesterday evening, it finally went and it took out this resistance, which was what I said I was leaning towards BTC breakout. Should we take out this, I was expecting a bounce somewhere around here. Then we still go towards the upside to get. So we actually went and the trade took out this resistance here, which was a full TP for me actually, and it continued. Now where is it going to next? This is where it's facing another resistance. Yeah, it's facing another resistance here. That's the next place. If you go to the 4 hours chart, you'll see it clearly. It's facing the resistance here, and it's rejected once, but the momentum is very, very strong, like really, really strong. It's trying to break above this. Now, that's why I'm not taking any short position. I'm not trying to short it. I'm sincerely not even trying to do that. There are some persons that would be attempting to, oh, let's short this, let's take that shot. But the pump is looking really good. It's looking really, really strong. Rather than me looking for a short, I'll prefer it corrects back to here and I find another long. So I'm not trying to take any short positions. Now, that might change. Reason, because we're moving into Friday. And you remember, we've said this before, that most times on Fridays, BTC tends to correct. So that's another thing you want to look at on Fridays. Now we're gradually getting to Friday. So there's every tendency that approaching that Friday, we might see like a brief correction. Then Sunday, Monday, we might see like a break above it. It's very, very possible. But for now, nothing seems really clear on the chart yet. It's still too early to call. We just have strong 4 hours green candle printing. Yes, we know that there's a resistance here, but it's all green, green, green. So it's too early to call any short positions here yet. So moving on to another trade we took yesterday. We took an LTC trade, which was also the analysis was done before the trade played out. Our entry was on the 15 minutes chart yesterday. We drew the analysis and it hadn't triggered as at the time we did that trade. It had not gotten to our entry point as at when we did that analysis yesterday. Like it had not gotten to our entry point yet. But yeah, eventually we got to our entry point. It triggered, it went up, and it got kicked out of the position because I protected profits. I posted it in our group and it came back. I protected profits 100%. It got back to entry. I got back in and I didn't bother adjusting SL again. Reason is simple. Because of even if it goes and hits SL, I will not be losing the trade. It's worst case we break even because I'd already protected profit the first time I got in and exited. So got in back here at the entry and eventually it hits our full TP. Now for me, for this trade, like what I always tell you guys, I kept adjusting. Like once it was approaching here, I kept adjusting the TP. But I wasn't fast enough because even as I adjusted it again, before I knew it was so fast, it just went and hit the TP that I adjusted again. Probably I would have just removed TP entirely. But I think it took me out around somewhere around 86 point something. That was where it took me out of the trade. But it was a profitable trade. Now, this is a re-entry that I took this morning. I took this re-entry this morning. And it was very, very simple. It's a continuity of the trend. So I just took this position this morning, which is actually moving profits actually this morning. That's when I got in on this, and I'm expecting it to get here. Now, there's obviously a resistance here, obviously. Now, one of the reasons why I had the mind, besides the fact that it was a continuation trade, is because most altcoins have not repriced, especially LTC. LTC has not repriced. Realistically, LTC should be coming to this zone. Like realistically, it should be coming to like this 90, 91, 92. Yet realistically, what it just needs to do now is just to break this resistance we have here and afterwards to snap to this point. So I just took that trade to like continue the pump. And you can see where the stop loss is at for some persons that might want to take the trade. The stop loss is at 95.1. That's where the stop loss is at, 95.1. Now, what might make this trade fail? What might make this trade fail is if BTC starts rejecting from here, starts coming back to 88, which is what I'm expecting. Get a rejection, gets back here for another entry to continue. So that's the only thing that would most likely make this trade fail. Yeah, once BTC starts rejecting and going down, obviously it will force some altcoins to try to come down. Now, if it does that aggressively, it will force this to come down to almost this zone, which is my stop loss is actually this low though, but it might still force it to come down to maybe somewhere around here. It's possible, just to zoom in a little. Yeah, it's possible it might force it to come down here. Only if BTC starts rejecting, that's only what might make this trade fail. So most times when trading, it's very important to know why you're taking a trade. If the trade fails, it's also important to know what made that trade fail, like what went wrong. That's how you learn, that's how you improve, and that's how you know that you're actually doing the right thing and you're not just blindly gambling. Okay, you're not just aimlessly taking trades and hoping a certain thing plays out. Okay, but I've said this severally. Once you've done right on the chart, some fundamental stuffs can still happen, which is relating to news, which you have no control. Like you have absolutely no control. Those things can still happen and still mess things up. That's why you still have to manage your trades. Like that's literally why you have to still manage your trade. This trade has already hit TP1. This particular trade from this morning, it has hit TP1. That's TP1. It has actually hit TP1. So if it was something I was looking at protecting some profits, I would have been looking at that. That's hit TP1, TP2 is here. Then before you talk about TP3, yeah. So that's about LTC. There's another trade I took this morning, and this is it. This is Uniswap. That's also this morning. So this one is still, no, I don't need to go on the deal. This is still somewhere people can jump in. This Uniswap, this was done based on 4 hours and 1 hour chart. So looking at it, you can see clearly it's still based on continuation. It pumped yesterday. That's why I say you don't need to chase trades. Pumped yesterday, waited for correction, corrected back to the zone I wanted, and I got in. And I have my stop loss below the leg that started that pump. So if you go to the 1 hour chart, you can see it clearly. Yeah, so took my entry. Now I'm expecting it to go back again. The only thing that kind of invalidates this trade, if BTC stays where it's at, just ranging 91k, 95, 91, 91k, 91,500. If it stays there, no problem. This trade will play out very well. But if BTC starts correcting to 88, 89k, it will most likely force this down. That's why most times, even while still at the trade, if it's now starts dumping, I can just go and, you know what, protect profit. Yeah, because I'm already seeing the sign that it's about to force most of those things down, because most times alts will react. BTC is like a lagging indicator for alts. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. It's like a lagging indicator for alts. So when alts have not fully broken out, they are trying to break out, and BTC now starts dumping. It's a no-brainer. They will just start following BTC too. Not immediately, but they'll be lagging. Now see LTC is pumping. Back to this, you can see it. You can see like it's actually moving. It's trying to break out this particular trade. Like it's moving and it's trying to break out. If BTC that is at 91,700 suddenly starts going to 90k when LTC hasn't broken out, it will force it back. Yeah, so these are like some basic things you need to pay attention to. Is there any other trade I did analysis? I think I did on Zcash, did I? Oh yeah, I did on Zcash, but I'm expecting Zcash to come down to this zone. Yes, so expecting Zcash to come down. Then there are some trades we took yesterday that did not trigger. Ethereum did not trigger. We posted it in the group that was a missed entry on the 15 minutes. This is the 15 minutes chart that we took a trade. It did not trigger. So it was a missed entry. You can see it here. If we had brought this entry a bit higher, it would have triggered, but we took it here. So it did not, just missed by $5 or $3. So this trade did not trigger. You can see it clearly. So there's no need expecting this trade to trigger again, because if it comes back, it will most likely go below this point. It will now be targeting this one, which is a larger time frame. If it comes back again, it will most likely be targeting this particular trade. Again, so I don't advise anyone trying to take this one again or waiting for it, because there's a huge chance that if it gets back to take you out automatically. So this was a missed trade. Also on Solana, we did a Solana chart. Where's Solana? But it didn't trigger. Yeah, did not trigger also. So this was also a Solana chart we did yesterday, or clearly it didn't trigger. This was a Solana on. It did not come down to trigger. Stopped at 135. Our entry was at 133, 134. That was our entry. Whereas Solana got to 135.5. So it missed by $1.5. That was what it means, missed by. So that been a great trade. So it didn't trigger. Then this was a longer time frame trade, or a larger time frame trade, 4 hours and daily candle also. Yeah, so it was simple, break of a trend line and retest. Now, don't get this wrong. These trades can still trigger. Mind you, not this 15 minutes on. Down has been invalidated. That's gone too far. The only one that might still trigger is this one because this is a larger time frame. So should BTC correct Friday into the weekend, then most likely Solana would come back to like retest this trend line, because we drew this yesterday where I told you guys that it was about to break out, like it was breaking out already. So to break out and retest before it starts sending. Yeah, but the lower time frame trade did not trigger. That's like the one for scalp, but did not trigger. This one we're still waiting to see if it will trigger. So I think that's what we have on analyzing the charts. Let me see. Do we have questions? Yeah, I'm Spacing. I think you want to say something. We've spent almost 40 minutes, so we're rounding up in a second from now.
No, I don't really have. I don't really have much to say. Maybe we should just look at the question. Yeah.
All right. So we spent more than 20 minutes, guys. Briefly, let's just look at some questions. We've spent so much time already. So much time. Yeah. So do we really have much question? Is Zora still at a good entry? It's still at a good entry, but sometimes these things, I don't know how to put it. We spoke about it yesterday. It was at 2.4 or thereabout. I said it that it's a good buy. Right now is at where swing trader, someone like me, I'm looking at swinging out. So if you're going in there, it's obviously not for swing. If you're going at 3M 3.1, it's not for a swing. It's most likely long term. The best entry point, discounted entry points that you're supposed to jump in for swing was yesterday or Monday or Tuesday. You get, as at yesterday, I didn't started leaving that point gradually. I started getting to 2.4, 2.5. So right now it's at 3M, going above 3M. That's the point where swing traders are already taking profits, 30, 35%, minimum 25%. Yeah, so if you're getting in there, it's obviously for something more long term, not for swing. This is most likely like you're trying to FOMO. If you're getting into swing, you're just trying to FOMO right now. So that's all I can say about that. Zion, yeah, Zion pumped well. They listed on a new exchange, Bitstamp. They listed on a new exchange day before yesterday, I think. So that was what was like the catalyst for the pump, over 200% pump. IPT, which one is IPT? Is IPT Ryzen? Which one is IPT? Is it ICP? Is it ICP? So it's ICP. If you look at ICP charts, time has gone, so we can't look at that. But the chart is about to break out. Probably it has even broken out. You get, so it's about to continue its uptrend that started about a month ago. So it's actually good. It's good. Is there no entry right now? By no entry, which do you mean? I shared the trade that I shared that still was at a very, very good entry is the Uniswap trade. I think that's the trade I shared was at a very, very good entry that hasn't really moved. So it's the Uniswap trade that started moving, obviously, but that's the trade I shared that was at a very, very good entry. That's the Uniswap trade. It's the Uniswap trade. That's the trade that is still very, very close to its entry. It's the Uniswap trade actually. The LTC owner has already moved. That one has moved, like it has moved well. Like it's gone. You know, this is not the chart. This is the chart. Yeah. That one has moved, like it has moved well. So you can't get in on this one again. It has already moved like real good. The BTC own, we didn't take any trades on BTC today. We are not drawing for shorts yet. We're not doing that for BTC. For now, it's still risky. We haven't seen anything to show that yet. Probably if you see rejections on the 4 hours candle, then maybe you might begin to consider that. But right now, there's no sign of rejection. It's just all the way It's all the way trying to get here. Yet it's trying to get to this point. So there's no sign of a short for now on BTC. But I'm expecting if it's going to present an opportunity, you should start seeing the candle print towards evening. And this candle should close by 1 o'clock. This 4 hours candle should close by 1. So by that 5 o'clock, 4 hours candle that will be closing, from then you should start seeing like a setup 5, 9 o'clock thereabouts. You start seeing a setup for a short. Yeah, so that's all we'll be taking via chats. Ms. Personal, any final words before we call it a day?
Well, I'm still keeping an eye on a few trends that I think are developing, but I can't obviously share them now because I'm still looking at it to see if it's even a trend or if it's one of those things. So let's see how it plays out. We're going into the weekend, like you said. Let's see if this our green momentum is sustained, and if that is so, we should have a good ride.
Yeah, I totally agree. So if anything comes up on the chart, probably if a short setup starts forming, we'll share it in the Telegram community. So feel free to like join the Telegram community. The link is on the screen. Just join it. You'll see a setup there. If we see it on time, we'll share it so that maybe you can take those trades, and every other thing will be communicated there before tomorrow morning. And also feel free to subscribe to the channel for those that are watching from either Twitter, that's X, or from YouTube. Feel free to subscribe. So thanks, guys. That's all we'll be taking today, and see you guys tomorrow. Mind you, Friday is the last day we do this live stream, with Monday to Friday. So Friday is usually the last day of the week that we do it. So see you guys tomorrow. I'm wishing you guys a profitable day. Bye, guys.